Welcome to InfoHub. Today in the news, we take a look at several key Budget 2018 measures and the impact they will have on various sectors. The details of these and more after this.
As Guyanese citizens who live in Guyana, we have duties to perform for the benefit of our families, communities, and ourselves. Some of those duties are legal, like obeying the laws of Guyana, and others are voluntary, like keeping our surroundings clean or voting.
One legal duty that citizens have which contributes to the national budget is paying your taxes. But you can be of greater help to your country and government agencies by paying attention to how public services are being delivered and asking questions if you have any concerns. The budget is everyone's business. Get involved now.
A message from the Ministry of Finance.
Now for the details. Budget 2018 will foster better working conditions, a conducive business environment, and job opportunities for all categories of Guyanese. State Minister Joseph Harmon says Budget 2018 provides an avenue for young entrepreneurs who want to invest in green state development plans. He added that it also represents an important step in the country's development, noting that the measures included places Guyana further along the path to the good life for all.
Most importantly, there are no new taxes in this budget. In fact, there are benefits for so many categories of persons that they will only see good in this budget.
Minister Harmon believes that Finance Minister Winston Jordan has done an excellent review of the economy's state, enabling the country to be better positioned.
Just being able to take advantage of the experiences which we've had over the first 2.5 years and put all of that together to package a set of measures that will increase the public good.
The minister is confident that from the very young to the old have a stake in Budget 2018. The government has kept its promise to remove the 14% value-added tax on private education. Here are some of the reactions.
InfoHub paid a visit to a few institutions to get the views of students and teachers.
I thought it was very delightful news, good news for the education sector. I am happy that VAT has been removed from the private education because I felt it was a bit misguided in the first place. They imposed it, and I would want to say it is very fitting and wise for the government to remove it at this time.
From the School of the Nation's perspective, we are quite happy that the removal of VAT took place, the VAT on private education. We saw it as a real intrusion into our privilege of a right to education.
It's a big relief, especially here at Nations, for both parents and students alike, especially since Nations is at the forefront of the protests against the decision. So it's just in time for Christmas, so it's making everybody happy. It's good news.
Other incentives geared towards improving the delivery of education countrywide include training for over 330 teachers, the construction of several new schools, a subvention of $2.4 billion for the University of Guyana, and the continuation of the digital classroom programs, among others. The total sum proposed for the education sector in the budget is $4.7 billion. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Public Health Minister Waldo Lawrence welcomes the 2018 budget, noting that since 2015, the government has managed to overcome significant sectoral challenges. Delicia Haynes has the details.
It was an excellent budget, and I note that the minister took his time to ensure that he looked at what we said we would have done in 2017 to explain the challenges and to show that despite all of the challenges that we have encountered over 2015, we were still able to come out with a positive growth.
With the public health budget for 2018 standing at $33.3 billion, Minister Lawrence added that every citizen throughout Guyana will benefit from appropriations made for the coming year.
He has shown the government's interest in ensuring we address poverty at all levels, and I believe that the budget is all-encompassing. It has touched every section of our society.
Minister Winston Jordan highlighted some of the interventions that the allocation will cover: a second mammography machine for GPHC, a new viral load machine to enable HIV testing and Zika screening, deployment of specialized doctors in all regions, the introduction of an elderly health program, the training of a total of 500 mental health professionals, $2.4 billion allocated for the upgrade, maintenance, and construction of health infrastructure, $600 million for the procurement of medical equipment, and $2.2 billion for drugs and medical supplies. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
InfoHub's Gabriela Patram tells us that a new e-governance project catered for in the budget will provide a web-based interface for citizens seeking government service.
The Smart Guyana program allows government ministries and agencies to be connected to a high-speed network that allows citizens to access their services online. In his budget presentation, Minister of Finance Winston Jordan reported that US $37.6 million Smart Guyana program will see initial $2.3 billion being invested in 2018 for the first phase of implementation.
To do this, we will upgrade the existing LTE network, upgrade and construct data centers, provide capacity building, outfit smart classrooms and e-libraries, launch e-health solutions for remote healthcare services, and increase our closed-circuit television capacities towards a safe city solution.
Other budgetary measures to enable access to high-quality ICT training and e-services will see US $17 million being spent on infrastructure, hardware, and software for remote hinterland communities. Implementation of this project will see over 89,000 residents in approximately 170 communities having access to over 200 e-government ICT hubs. Over $140 million has been allocated for a Center of Excellence in Information Technology, CEIT, an ICT finishing school geared to bridge the gap between academia and industry. Gabriela Batram for InfoHub.
Sheriff Street Mandela Avenue to get a $2 billion makeover. Renetta LaFleur has more.
Sidewalks, bicycle lanes, pedestrian overpasses, and the roundabout at the Sheriff Street and David Street Junction all form part of the Sheriff Street Mandela Avenue roadway enhancement project. The existing carriageway will be upgraded and resurfaced from the northern end of Sheriff Street through to Homestretch Avenue. From that point to the Mandela Avenue Hunter Street Junction, the road will be widened to a 4-lane. InfoHub spoke with some business owners and commuters to gather their reactions to the project.
I feel it's something good because right now it's a lot of vehicles on the road.
Yes, it would be good for traffic. It would be very, very good because remember, instead of 1 lane, you have 2 lane going, 2 lane coming. But as I said again, I would say again, it's costly. It's more costly this way because a lot of things have to be done, put in place, and it would push back the pavement for parking for business on Sheriff Street.
Additionally, $2.7 billion will be spent to widen the East Coast Demerara Highway to 4 lanes, and a further $1.2 billion has been budgeted to complete the West Coast Demerara Road expansion. Public Infrastructure Minister David Patterson is keen to commence his ministry's 2018 work program.
The journey continues. I mean, we've done a lot of work in 2016, 2015, 2016, 2017, and it continues. I mean, obviously, we are now pushing out through all the programs we started, Linden and Mabura. We're doing work in Region 1, we're doing work in the Hinterland regions. Very good budget to continue our progress and hopefully to carry us right up to 2020. I am very excited on things that I have planned for you in 2018, including addressing our electricity sector.
A sum of $35 billion was allocated in the 2018 national budget for the Ministry of Public Infrastructure. From Sheriff Street, I am Renetta LaFleur reporting for InfoHub.
Government has secured a $30 million Inter-American Development Bank loan to address housing needs for low-income families. More from Sanika Thorne.
The loan will be divided into 2 components to improve occupancy of existing housing schemes through provision of quality infrastructure and the provision of subsidies for home improvements and core homes. Central Housing and Planning Authority CEO Leland Saul outlined how the monies will be expended in 2018.
In the Sophia Cummins Lodge area, we will see 17 kilometers of road being upgraded to asphaltic concrete. Also, in that community, 1,000 persons will benefit from core houses. That should be 100 persons will benefit from core houses in the Sophia community, Sophia Cummins Lodge community. And each of these units costs approximately $4 million. And those houses, basically, it will be given free to deserving residents. Of course, there are criteria.
Homes will also be built in other areas located between Ogle on the East Coast, along the East Bank up to Golden Grove, and Parfair Harmony to Bell West. In terms of the home improvement subsidy, Saul said some 2,000 persons will benefit in the medium term.
Within the project area, the very area that I mentioned before, citizens can apply for home improvement. The criteria would be published and guidelines for application also would be published.
Government has placed affordable housing at the forefront of its social policy and is aware of the value of home ownership and its link with reducing poverty and improving living standards. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
A $200 million Hinterland Green Enterprise Development Center slated for construction in Region 9 is projected to be key in job creation for hinterland communities. Seneca joins us again with our final report.
The Green Enterprise Development Center will focus on training that will leverage indigenous traditional knowledge and boost demand for local products and services. Minister Sidney Alicock said that the initiative will seek to prepare the hinterland youth for anticipated development.
Now it's the time for the hinterland to be playing that part in getting ready for the anticipated development. More so, it is to help our indigenous peoples, the hinterland people, to be in readiness, to have the skills needed for when the roads and the hydros and the solar farms and the businesses become a reality.
The center will be located in the Beena Hill Institute compound in Central Anai and will serve 120 students from regions 1, 7, 8, 9 and 10. $79 million has been allocated to commence the facility's construction in 2018.
I am very pleased that the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs has gotten a budget that is going to start the whole process of the involvement of the hinterland people in the development of this nation.
Provisions were also made for a lapidary workshops establishment to provide employment for youths in communities such as Monkey Mountain, Tusaning, Kurukubaru and Keto in Region 8. Lapidary involves the engraving, cutting and polishing of stones and gems. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
That's InfoHub for today, but before we go, we encourage you to pick up a copy of our budget bulletin from a newsstand near you or read a digital copy on our website, where you can also follow us for more news there and on social media. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Do you know what the national budget is?
The national budget is a public record of the government's financial plans. It identifies financial goals of the government and the amount of money needed to achieve those goals during a 12-month period.
The national budget also tells the story of how the country's resources are being used and whether our decision makers are securing a good future for all citizens. It also reveals what the government sees as priority.
As citizens, you may or may not agree with those priorities, but understanding what government's decisions and plans are for the year ahead will allow you to ask questions and hold the government accountable, as is your duty. The budget is everyone's business. Get involved now.
A message from the Ministry of Finance.